Good afternoon. Good afternoon. And maybe good morning. All depends on where you are listening from right now. We are live on LinkedIn Live, and I am Steve Worthy. I am CEO of Worthy Retail U, and this is Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy. And this is going to be our very first actual conversation that we are going to have with you where we kind of just let our hair down, so to speak, talk a little bit about Worthy Retail U and also Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy, this LinkedIn, this lunch and learn on LinkedIn that I'm super excited to kind of talk to all of you about today as well. And one of the first things that I do wanted to talk about was the idea of why is this important? Why another live stream on LinkedIn? There's so many different options. There's so many different people that you can talk to. One of the things that we focus in on, as you can tell in our title, are retail leaders. I firmly believe that retail leaders are a forgotten, vital part of the retail world. Excuse me, a vital part of the leadership conversation. Retail leaders typically go about their daily business of providing goods and services in exchange, of course, for money, credit cards, or whatever it may be to members, guests, customers, doesn't matter. It just all depends on the organization, but the customer at the end of the day. And the retail leaders that I know and that I have had the pleasure to be a retail leader for 20 out of 25 years of my leadership experience truly understand and know the importance that retail leaders have, not just in the retail industry, but in the leadership conversation. We firmly believe this, that a retail leader's decisions will impact everybody every day all over the world. We completely believe that. And if you don't believe that, think about the last time you were actually in a store. Think about the last time you were shopping online. Think about the last time you went on vacation and you wanted to go to the resorts and you wanted to buy something. There were retail leaders in and throughout that entire process, in and throughout all of those sequences of events that you have had to deal with or not had to deal with, just based on where they are. So we focus in this conversation on LinkedIn is that we're going to be focused in on the retail leader and understanding three pillars that we have. And I'll get into the three pillars, not today, not in depth today, but over the course of the next couple of months. And here's why I want to say over the next over the next couple of months, because this is our go time typically in retail. Coming up here in October, November, December, this is our time to really shine in the business industry, in the business world, if you will. There's so much focused in on the retail industry, product offerings, who's going to be shopping for what, um, who has the best buy, meaning not the best buy of the company, but the actual best buy from an assortment standpoint. How are retail leaders prepared? Are they staffed appropriately? Are the staff trained? Are the adjacencies set within their organization? How are they dealing with curbside? How are they dealing with online orders? All these different things getting heightened during this time of year, which I 100% love. So we will be talking about the course of our three pillars over the next couple of months because I'm going to be busy as well. But I wanted to set the tone today and talk a little bit about our pillars as well. Our first pillar that we talk about and that we deal with is helping the retail leader understand communication. And what I mean by that is really understanding their leadership voice. What does that really mean for them? What does it mean to be a leader? Typically, what we've seen is that there are leaders who have been team leaders, came in on as associate, moved up to team leader. Now they've actually gone into being a store, being either a manager or store manager, assistant manager, executive leader, whatever it may be, initially in that one building. And now they're moving into this realm of what we call leadership. And they may be new to it. They may have gotten to this point based on their talents or based on their sheer work ethic, but that's not going to keep them there. We say this all the time. Talent will only get you so far. And now they are running into a brick wall, and they're trying to figure out this leadership piece. They're trying to figure out the difference between a leader and a manager. And part of our conversation is to help those leaders, not just in the single unit, but multi-unit, district managers, market managers, um, regional directors, all of them who are actually in this conundrum of understanding who their voice is as a leader. Because the more you can understand your voice, it makes it easier for our second pillar. Our second pillar that we talk about is the culture. Every retail organization has a completely different culture. Fast-paced, slow-paced, specialty. Uh, a lot of them say that they're customer-centric, but sometimes they're product-centric, and we can talk about that at a later date as well. But understanding the culture of their organization is probably the second pillar that we talk about. And within that second pillar, it's so important that you as a retail leader understand your leadership voice so that way you can fit within that culture or not fit within that culture. And marrying those two are are tantamount to your success for our third pillar, which is career advancement that we talk about. Our number one question that we get is, Steve, how do I move up the ladder, so to speak? How do I get promoted? What does getting promoted look like? What do I have to do? Do I have to sell my soul? Can I remain myself and still be promoted? Why does it appear that everybody is getting promoted and not me when I work harder than everybody else? These are just a handful of the questions that we receive, or that I've dealt with also over my career with people that I have either supervised directly or indirectly. And we want to talk about those conversations. We want to talk about the idea of working hard. We want to talk about the idea of tenure. Tenure meaning that I should be promoted. There could be nothing further from the truth. And we'll talk more in depth about that over the next coming months as well. But we want to make sure that whenever you watch us, whether it's going to be with a guest or it's going to be with myself, we will be coming from those three pillars, because it's important that you have an understanding of what we're going to be talking about, but more importantly, how it fits within your life, how it fits within your career. We know that there are a lot of leaders out there who are truly striving. They're truly striving to become the leader that they've always wanted to be, but they keep listening to other people tell them that they should be this type of leader. They should respond in this type of way. That they should toe the line. Hey, you have to change X, Y, and Z about yourself. And I'm here to tell you that the authenticity has no competition. You understanding who your authentic self is has no competition comparative to anybody else that you may be dealing with from a peer standpoint, that you may be dealing with from a supervisor standpoint, whatever it may be. It is extremely important for you to understand your authentic self, because I say this, the more you know yourself, the more you can say no to certain things, whether it could be a promotion, whether it could be that organization that you thought was going to be amazing for you, and that the more you realize and you get your value system together and you understand more about it, you realize that that's not where you want to be. And that is okay. Our goal is to help you navigate through that. Our firm, Worthy Retail U, we are an executive coaching firm. We help you get from where you want to be, where you are, to where you want to be. The middle part is where we do the work. Understanding where you currently are, where you want to go, but that gap in the middle, that is where the real work happens. That is where the life-changing work of coaching, of understanding who you are, of creating your own value system, that is where the work actually takes place. And that is the place where we love to work. Those are the individuals that we love to deal with. Those are the individuals we love to have conversations with. Those who are really looking to make a change. And sometimes you don't even know that you're looking to make a change. So hopefully over the course of the weeks and months that you either listen to this Lunch and Learn, our live stream that we do in our Facebook group and also on YouTube. And then we also have a podcast, audio podcast, Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy, that we send out every week. So hopefully through all these different mediums, you will start to understand that, one, we care, and then two, that there is somebody out there that's listening to whatever it is that's on your heart. And we're here to help you with this as well. I told myself I wasn't going to be on here long today because I just wanted to give you an understanding of a little bit about who we are and what we're going to be doing over the next couple of months. But next week, we actually do have a guest. So our very first guest, Mr. Chip Baker, he's a motivational speaker. I had the fortune of hearing Chip speak on a really good friend's LinkedIn Live on a Wednesday. And it was outstanding. How are you doing, sir? I am just checking the comments, and I see that we got a comment up here. How are you doing, sir? You doing good? Excellent. And we have Mr. Chip Baker on next week, and I had the pleasure of hearing him speak. And so we are going to be going to YouTube and also LinkedIn as we are doing today. And we're going to be talking directly to retail leaders and trying to help them understand motivation, help them understand how to motivate themselves, but also how to motivate people during this time of year. We can't even say post-pandemic because the pandemic is still going, but they have to understand how to lead within this timeline. We have to help them understand how to lead within this timeline. And so that's what we're going to be speaking about. The video and audio is really good today. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. We have to have a conversation. I did purchase that. I'm looking at it right now. That Audient ID4 that I'm using, and I got a different mic too. I still have my Shure SM7B, but I got a Lewitt that I actually really love, and I've been using it for my podcast as well. So that's what happens when you go live stream. You have good buddies that jump on, and you do have a little sidebar conversation. So the other thing that we want you to know is exactly what just took place, is that as we kind of go through this process of having this dialogue, whether it's on LinkedIn Live or it's actually going to be, on YouTube as well, is that we ask you to participate. We ask you to come in here, have a conversation with us, because that is how learning starts. That is how you actually get the best out of myself, but also this conversation that we're going to be starting over the next couple of months, strictly focusing in on retail leadership. You can ask me any type of question focused in and looking at retail leaders, because our other live stream that we have is that we focus in on retail leaders, but we bring in so many different people that are outside of the retail industry to help you have a better understanding of who you are as a leader. Because as I've often said, is that about 85, almost 90% of the leadership fundamentals, if you will, that I have learned have been from outside outside of retail. And then I've been able to bring them into the retail industry and have pretty decent measure of success as well. So, how are you doing, sir? Yes, lunchtime, man. This is we're just launching this today, John. So, and this one is going to be truly focused in on LinkedIn and also retail leaders, specifically. But as you well know, you are more than welcome to join in. We are going to be doing this every Wednesday at 12 p.m. and looking forward to kind of growing this side of our platform, as well, looking at from a LinkedIn standpoint. So once again, next week we will have Mr. Chip Baker on, motivational speaker. Super excited to have a conversation with him, and I know you guys are going to get some value out of this one as well. And be on the lookout for more information around other retail leaders that we will be having on our show as we continue to move forward. We're shoring up all of our dates, we're shoring up all the people, but as I said earlier, this time of year is super busy for us as retail leaders. And so my goal is to be here every Wednesday, but sometimes I may not because of the course of business. Starting in January, we are going to go super hard. We are going to go hard and fast in January with a lot of good stuff. But we wanted to go ahead and set this platform out here and get started now, so that way you guys know that we exist, and hopefully you can start to come out and hang out with us. If you are looking at this on the replay, I ask that you leave a comment. I ask that you leave a question. If there's anything that you want to hear, if there's a topic that you would like to hear, if there's a person that you would like to hear interviewed, please, we ask that you go ahead and leave that information with us on the chat. Or you can also email me directly or message me directly on LinkedIn, and we can go ahead and go from that point forward as well too. Just excited about all this that we actually have going on. A lot of things. So it is 12:20. I told myself I was going to be on exactly 20 minutes. So I'm probably going to go over 1 minute, but I wanted to thank you for listening and being here and being a part of this journey, because that's exactly what it is. We say this all the time, is that everybody is on a journey, but for you to be successful, you have to be an active participant in this journey. Retail Leadership with Steve Worthy is on the journey. We are trying our best to help retail leaders know more about themselves so that they can lead and be the leaders that they have always wanted to be. I am passionate about the retail industry. I am passionate about retail leaders because I firmly believe we are some of the best leaders in the entire world. Our decisions, things that we do, truly impact everybody, every day, all over the world. And I'm excited to talk to you next week. Be on the lookout for some content that we may be having in some of our other platforms as well. Before I close out, Fatima, you should talk with her. I will, sir. I think I connected with her on LinkedIn, not on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I will be connecting with her very soon as well. Great seeing you too, John. Yep. Enjoy the journey. See you soon. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Everybody, as we always say, have a great day. We'll see you next week. Have a great day, and God bless.